All right, here we go.
Surprise guest. No
Surprise guest, Matthew Jaensch. Jeffrey Pistola, Ben Goldfink, we're ready to go. You got any questions? Get them in. All right, here we go. That time of the huddle, we get a special guest in from the Hills Football League, and we're going straight to the top. Div 1 Grand Final on Saturday. Wasn't much of a shootout in terms of goals, but who we got in the studio? Pistols. If you're on the live stream, we're on the Huddle Reform Facebook live stream. Of course, you can see who that is on there.
Well, a bit like the footy season, the cream rises to the top as the season's just about finished. Obviously, as you said, this is our penultimate show. That means there's only one more after this. So we thought we'd get the cream in, and because the silkiest man is sixth time now. Hill's A-grade premiership player. I remember when he came back to play after his career down in town that he wanted to just win a flag for his beloved Hahndorf. Now he's won 6. Without further ado, the great man, Matty Jaensch. G'day, Matt.
Jeffrey, Benny, how are we boys? Going all right?
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah. So that's the right scenario when you came back from Sturt and the Crows? You just said you wanted to play
No.
flag?
No, I actually wanted to beat Dad. So one was always nice, but I'm pretty competitive, and he won 5, so I just wanted to win 6. And now I just need to kick about 2,000 goals to beat him there, but might need to play until I'm about 85 to beat that record. But yeah, no, I always wanted to beat him.
So currently there's you, Daniel Roberts, Scott Perling, Lester Francis. Anyone else in the current group that's 6 time?
No, I think I'm the only one with 6. Luke Roberts claims he's got 6 because he won a C-grade granny, but probably not going to count that one. I mean, I'll count it for the club and stuff, but I'm not going to count a 6 sort of all-time flags. But yeah, I just think it's just us 4, yeah.
But about the team, obviously, and how did you find Saturday?
I was just saying to you before off air, it's we're at the German Arms on Monday, and we put the game on again, and about 14 of us fell asleep. It was so boring, but she was
probably hadn't had any sleep for about.
Well, a couple of them haven't. A few of the young boys, Danny Zander and that, but no, it was pretty intense. It was a real physical game. And that's probably what we wanted to do. We knew that they were going to beat us with their run, so we wanted to sort of take it to them on the inside. Wasn't pretty, but at the end of the day, we come out on the right side of history and we won, so I guess you got to be happy with that. But yeah, for the people who travel to watch the game, we do apologise.
It's interesting, I was actually watching a bit of it today, particularly that first quarter. It was just like no one wanted to kick a goal. I know you were involved in one shot. Big Landers hit the post, didn't he, at one stage? And it was just unbelievable. And obviously watching from your position, you're thinking, what's going on there?
Yeah, I was sort of cursing the forwards, actually. Sometimes our forwards can't kick the skin off a rice pudding. Like sometimes they can kick 20 goals 5, and other times like 5 goals 20. They need to. I always tell them they've got to get there an hour early and just kick because we always sort of thought that would be the difference between us winning and losing. Is like if you said to me before the game 3 goals 14 you're going to win, I'd tell you you're dreaming. But yeah, I mean. It is disappointing when you do all the hard work and you get it up there and they miss, but... Well,
of course, there was a game last year, Matthew, where I think you went forward to show them how to do it. The lazy 9, wasn't it? Or 7 and a quarter? Wasn't it?
No, it was 8 and a quarter. The conditions, I guess, suited me. It was wet and muddy, so it slowed the game down to my speed. So, we do have a good forward line, but we just at times really let ourselves down with our finishing, and it is disappointing. But like I said, we're on the right side of the ledger on Saturday, so yeah.
How good, as you said, the run 10 straight grand finals, 7 flags in that time. Obviously hadn't won one since 2021, but changing of the guard, as you mentioned, some of the greats who retired, the GOAT, D-Rob. So some of these younger blokes, Shelley coming through, young Freeman, a couple others, obviously Bosens, Prenzler, just to see that new blood coming into boasted the dynasty, and it could continue further.
Yeah, bloody oath. It's I mean, it is pretty weird walking out on grand final day without Fossil Roberts and Pearls, but those young boys are awesome. They train really hard. They do all the right things. Hahndorf Juniors. And they do all the right things on game day. Like Sholey, I think's playing in 3 or 4 B grade flags. Probably a bit unlucky last year not to play, but kept his head down and trained hard. And I thought he had a really good game on the weekend. Same with Prenzler. He's going to be an incredible player. Jack Kleeman, he's played for the last 3 years. He's awesome. He's about 2 foot tall, but plays like a 6'10". So he's hard of the line, but yeah, no, it's awesome. Both ends, his beautiful skills. So those boys keep you young, and they're an absolute credit to, I think, the junior program at Hahndorf.
Yeah, so with Prenzler and Bosens stepping in their first seasons of A-grade football, certainly didn't look out of place. And you mentioned another young guys who really get their chance, and well, we've seen him a couple of times. Actually, when he made his debut, Huxtable.
Yeah. Huxtable didn't play in A-grade. He's awesome. He probably just
the depth you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Huck was awesome all year. He probably just chose to go away to Europe at the wrong time.
Okay.
He was drinking Moretti's over in Italy or wherever else he was. But
How's it go with you, Matthew, a dedicated footballer? See, even at higher levels, guys who just wander off at mid-season and
shits me, absolutely shits me. Footy season only goes for 20 weeks or whatever. But no, that does give me the shits, because it's kind of like, well, you'd rather go away or whatever than win.
Were
but
you, envious of him, though? Being over there relaxing.
No, not really, because you've got 30 other weeks to do it. But everyone's different. I wanted to win a flag, so I was sort of doing whatever it took to sort of win. But, at the end of the day, the only person you let down is yourself. So, I can't be too annoyed if they're not bothered with it, so it shouldn't bother me.
Speaking of which, Matthew, this seems funny to say this to you, having known you as long as I have. You were the oldest magpie out there on Saturday. And I did run into you a couple of weeks ago after that second semi, and you were saying you're a little bit sore. And also, I did hear that you did have a little bit of work on the knee as far as stuff taken out, perhaps. So, how are you?
I actually started the third quarter. I actually jagged my calf a little bit. And it was just me in the warm-up, just doing some, these kids, Buddy Xavier and Parker Boys, made us do these 3 jumps, then we sprint. And on the third jump, I just felt something grabbing my calf, and I was like, you must be kidding me here. And I just was spewing, but...
Is that probably because it cooled down over?
Well, I'm not great at warming up again. I've jagged my calf a little bit. Just kind of pushed through. It's kind of like I can be sore after the game. Didn't really bother me. Didn't let it bother me. I just kind of was like, it's more painful losing it is with a torn calf. But my knee's dust. At the start of the year, I told I needed an operation. Had some cartilage and stuff floating around in there, and they told me I had to have 18 weeks. I actually tore my ACL a little bit as well. But it's kind of like I don't know. I'm pretty good at dealing with pain, I think. So I just sort of pushed through it, and had a few jabs in it during the year just to free it up. Missed a couple of games. Guy was really good, looked after me. So I'm 35, so I'm not going to feel mint every week. And I have had my ACL done 10 years ago, so it's always going to play up on me. But I got through, and calf sore now, and knee's a little bit sore, but I guess I've got plenty of time to get it right now.
So you're going to have any work done?
Yeah, so I need my knee operated on. And that's just finding time between work. So it'll be what it'll be. I actually haven't been to see the doctor yet, but I'm sure in the next couple of weeks I'll get my knee sorted and operated on.
Work? Tell us about work. How's that going for you?
Yes, it's going good. Yes, I have my own business. Unearthed Industry, so just earth industries. So we just, landscaping. I stay far away from that, and I just do the earth moving. So a little bit too physical for me. Yeah, mate. Yeah, no, we've got it all, but I must admit, I like staying on that as much as possible. Using my hands and using my bodies. That's probably passed me by, I reckon.
What's with footballers and landscaping? Because you've got the great man Das, big froth, because Johnny Mack, your good self.
Well, Dad tells me.
What's this you call him instead of being a banker or a real estate?
Nah, Dad actually told me. He said, if you're no good at anything, you become a landscaper. So that's probably right. I'm not good at much else. So found myself into that.
Obviously, a few lads fell asleep during the replay of the game.
Yes.
Did you happen to get to half time and see your old man's
I actually did, and he was scathing, wasn't he? I think.
Do you agree with what he had to say at half time?
I probably did a little bit, and the only thing I didn't agree with was how he said Riley Clamp was actually playing well. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, because.
What about his dress? He looked like something out of Peaky Blinders.
Did he? I can't remember what he was. I can't remember what he was wearing, but he would have been wearing a hat because he likes to cover his bald spot.
1,000 goals and a male medal in that group.
Tomo, yes, Tomo. He was good on the weekend. I thought he did really good. Special comments. Yep, he was good.
And what did you think of the turnout?
I thought it was good. I thought it was actually well supported from everyone on the day. I think Mount Barker did a really good job.
So just say when it was news came through Mount Barker Getting, how did it work out of your expectation and how it actually worked out on the day? Sounded like you were surprised.
No, probably was surprised it was at Mount Barker, but for the Hahndorf Football Club, I can remember Trent actually ringing me and telling me, and we were both like, "You beauty," because small oval, that suits Hahndorf and doesn't suit Nan. So, and then I heard if Barker beat Lofty, it was going to go to Euralia. So then I was a bit like, shit. But no, look, it's just a piece of grass, isn't it? And you're lucky to play in a grand final, but I do think the oval suited Hahndorf a bit more than it probably did Nan.
Yeah. Well, you've been involved in 6 now.
Yep.
What's it take to win a premiership?
What does it take to win a premiership?
Give me 2 takes here. How has it changed since your first premiership to now in terms of the way the side's going about it, and what it takes to win a premiership?
Probably at the start.
So your first was 2015, wasn't it?
16, Torrens Valley. Yeah. I think we probably won a lot of those flags early on sheer talent. We didn't work very hard. We didn't have many blokes who trained hard. I think we were quite lazy, to be honest, but we just had so much natural talent. Dylan Matson and Daniel Roberts and Cheney and a few others. But
sorry, just while you're on that point, so you're coming out of an elite level environment. You come back and you talk about lazy guys. Was that a little bit frustrating for you?
Yeah, it was. Because they could just,
could be better,
they could just, I think Hahndorf could just win and be half committed sort of thing, and
they were good footballers who were
not necessarily athletes. They just didn't train hard. They'd rock up 2 minutes before training, and as soon as training was done, they would straighten their cars, and that's not what it's about. And I think in the last few years that we've actually really we've had to play really well. We've had to prepare well. We've had to do extras because Nan were coming. And to be honest, I think in all the other grand finals, I think we sort of thought, well, we're going to win this because we're just better than them. But the last 2 years, we've been thinking we're not the better side. We need to play good footy because these guys are better than us, and it probably, I think, made us play better.
The one at Chunga against Euralia was a pretty good game, though.
Did we? Well, to be honest, I think.
That's when it was starting to get closer.
Yeah, well, I've never really had a blowout in a grand final, I don't think. So we've beaten sides by 80 points, 70 points, 60 points, and I never thought they troubled us during the year. But then grand finals and in finals, we got challenged. So I don't think we've actually ever played a 4-quarter game in a grand final. But Yeah, I just think the difference at the start was we won games on natural talent, and towards the end, with Nan being the best side, we had to train hard and had to work hard to achieve success.
It's a bit of a thing for the association. That in fact, Hahndorf during their reign has said 10 flags, 10 grand finals. Just about every club bar Mount Lofty, and no one skates my mind, have actually had a pingy in the big dance.
Yeah. Is that right? Chunga haven't.
Chunga haven't.
No.
Chunga, Mount Lofty, I've suggested.
Yeah. That and Mount Barker.
And Mount Barker.
So half of the teams.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's been good. It's actually been really refreshing every year. Someone trying to take your crown. And one thing that I've actually never lost to Mount Lofty
I know.
in A grade. So I don't let Smiles know too much about it. Probably 3 or 4 texts a week about it. So
In fact, I'll tell you, Mount Lofty haven't beaten Hahndorf since round 5, 2011.
Yeah, right.
Points.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. So
Stoller was playing.
Brett was he?
Healy, Daniel Bird, a long time ago.
That is a long time ago. Yeah. No. And obviously they're pushing up now. Boards is an awesome coach, and he's got them on the right path. So I can definitely see them pushing next year. And yeah, they're pretty young, so they'll be a year older, a year more mature. So I think like they're coming. They're coming.
All right, we're talking to Hahndorf 6-time premiership player Matthew Jaensch. Are you a premiership captain as well?
Yes, one. That was 2018. Yes.
What was Braden Hopgood like this year?
Awesome. He was absolutely awesome. And another story that probably no one know. So we had no injuries coming into finals. Everyone was pretty good. And Braden tore his calf on Tuesday night at training. So fully fell over with a torn calf. And he actually was late to the team meeting Saturday because he actually went to a doctor in town and actually had
Bamboo Man.
No, he didn't go to the Bamboo Man. He actually got his calf all localed by a doctor. So he got all those needles in it. And if you watch the replay, he can't sprint, but he just has a heart of a lion. There was no way he wasn't playing. And if it was anyone else with that injury, I don't think they're playing. But he's incredibly inspiring. He just has a crack. Like he probably knows he's not the most skilled, but always comes off with a bit of blood on his Guernsey and all the white on his Guernsey. He's covered in mud, and yeah, he's been incredible this year. He doesn't use his voice that much, but just leads with what he does. So he's an incredible player.
And did you like Dylan's game?
Dylan Hopgood. Well, my God, I thought he should play at 12:30 for the rest of his life at the start of the year, and my God, did he prove me wrong? He was.
Did you say that to him?
I did. I actually.
Asked him why he didn't start later, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I probably should.
All right, tell us about
I may have told him that after a couple of beers. No, so I did a post on the Hahndorf page, and I said, does anyone want any feedback on how they can get better? And he was the only bloke at the end of last year who asked me for feedback, and I just told him what I thought, and he trained his ass off, and my God, did he prove me wrong, and I think a lot of people were wrong because he had an unbelievable season.
Where is he now compared to this time last year?
Polar opposite. He was probably at a 1 out of 10 this time last year as a player, and he's probably at an 8 or 9 out of 10
what
now.
Was he doing in your eyes that needed improvement?
He lacked it. His intensity was terrible. He just
We were talking about before.
Yeah.
Attitude.
he would rock up at 6:28 before 6:30 start. He would leave at 7:58. He wouldn't do extras. He turned his body from a boy to a man. He was in the gym shifting steel. He's actually called biceps now because he's got some nice arms on him. He just runs like a gazelle now. And at training, he just trains with purpose and intensity. So I think you train how you play, and that definitely showed up for him. He's proof in the pudding.
So that was special for the guys?
Oh, it actually really, really was. And especially for Goldie too, who really stuck fat with him when he wasn't playing good footy. And for all of us too, because we saw how hard he worked. First to training, last to leave. And he just really just played how we all sort of thought he could play. But like I said, I'm not afraid to say I never thought this was in him. But my God, did he?
Otherwise, you wouldn't have said it, would you?
Well, exactly. Yeah, you're probably right. It just goes to show that if you work hard, you can sort of be anything you want to get. Because Dylan, he was incredible, had an incredible season.
This might be a difficult question for you to answer, lining them up one on one, but which of those flags, the 6 flags, which is the best team you've played in? They're all very good.
No, it's pretty easy. The 2019 undefeated one. Onkers, yeah, we were undefeated this year. And I've actually undefeated against Urata in 2021 too. But, nah, definitely the 2019. We speak of that a bit. Hurrigan, Cheney, Daniel Roberts, Luke Roberts, Perling, Matson.
Matt Roberts.
Matt Roberts. But no, he was good. Yeah, he did. No, that was definitely the best side.
Handby.
God, Handby. Yeah, no, he was great. I think that was the best side. I think probably, I don't know. I haven't watched HFL for 50 years, but I'm not sure there's too many teams beating that side. So that team ran itself, I think.
Hypothetical question.
Yes.
You would tend to go on, as you said. Players. I know you love the game, so play as long as you can.
Yes.
So, hypothetical question. Next year, Silky, you're playing over at Blackwood Oval and just happen to run close to the coach's box. Would you just give the man, you mentioned Michael Handy, you give him a little bit of advice? Or
I'm not sure I will be playing next year, but we'll see how we go. I don't know if I am playing, okay.
Not at 12:30.
No, not at 12:30, no. Hanby. No, I think it's awesome. I definitely will be getting stuck into him a little bit when I'm watching, but I think it's awesome. He sees the game really well, and he has a little bit of responsibility for how I think we play now. He loves footy, and that's a really good get for Blackwood. He just really sees the game well. He'll get them really well set up. They need a couple of players, but if they get them, I think they can really push because they've got some great juniors, always have. I think he's the perfect man for the job.
Now, this is going to be another hypothetical, difficult question for you. They're sensational. They are all brilliant footballers, the Parker Bowles family.
Yep.
Rate them.
1
to 3.
Oh, okay.
Rate
Right.
In terms of,
well,
you could rate them in terms of different areas. If you want. Yeah.
well, I wasn't
I
the hugest Sabian Parker Boers fan there for a while, but I think at the end of this year, he's number one. Like he played in midfield, and he's athletically gifted and believes in himself now, and he can
Chop out in the ruck as well.
Yeah, hit ruck, his clearance work. He can pretty much do everything. I'll probably say Joel number 2, but Joel annoys me because he just can't shut up with the umpires and giving downfield frees away. So
annoys a few other people on the field as well.
yeah, all 3 of them are great kids and a great family too. Joel gives me the irrits on the field sometimes. Troy is probably 3rd, but he's probably accomplished the most. So I'm probably way off there, but they're awesome. They bring the fun at our club. They're so weird before a game. They've got this little toy penguin that squeaks. So before we run out, we got to wait for them. They go to Troy's bag and pull it out, and they all got to squeak this toy. So
every single player?
just the Parker Bowers. So it's a little squeaky toy. It's what they're going to do. Yeah, it's so bizarre, but it probably does. But they're 3 different cats, but I'm glad they're my 3 different cats because they're awesome to play with.
Hugging the tree with people, but the penguin.
Well,
We have to get Troy in and we brought Jasper in once.
Yes.
We have to bring the penguin in.
Yeah, I just shake my head every time they do it, but it works, and that's what they do, and that's fine by me.
Matthew Jaensch here from Hahndorf, Premiership player, number 6 for him. You got some of that?
Now, you're such a colourful character. Just a few questions to ask you. And
Have you got any questions for Matt? Send them through on the live stream.
yeah, absolutely. Maybe Squeaky the Penguin might send us something. Hey, once you said about you giving up footy, but I know perhaps another career pathway in sport you could follow, Matthew, is the Elevate Games, because I've seen some very good work by you.
Yeah.
Elevate Games?
Yeah, Elevate Games is good. Yeah, that's a gym I go to in Little Hampton. So go there if you want to work out with me at 5.
Trying to lift the
Yeah. No, I go every day at 5 a.m. So always there. Yep, there every day.
Every day.
Every day. Well, I haven't gone this week because I've been a smidge dusty this week. But every other day I go. But I think that is past me. I did feel good there for a year and had a crack at some stuff there, but I think that's past me, I reckon. Okay. But I do love going. I do love lifting. I just don't want to lift heavy weights. I think no, I've got a machine for that, mate. But
you carry the logs?
Yeah, like Goggins. Yeah, no. Picking any weight up off the ground is. I think I'm done with that. I reckon.
Now, speaking of logs, which I'd like to just run us through that unfortunate incident, which actually came up on national radio a week about the septic tank.
Yeah.
Yep. Talking about pain. Was it painful down there in log heaven? Or?
Yeah, that was.
So what's the story?
So me and Brad Crouch were having a couple off the wood at the pub, and
which pub?
It was the GE.
Righto.
And we walked out the back, and I've tripped over this metal lid, and you're young and you've had a couple, and I threw the lid off, and I was whatever, and I walked off anyway. We were walking along, and we walked back through where we were coming to go back inside, and I've just fallen straight into this pit, which was full of human excrement. So I had toilet paper on me, stuck to my forehead. I had logs on me. Yeah, and I can remember I had a collared shirt.
Lovely.
And as I've come up, there was one in the top of me bloody. So yeah, it was it's a funny story that apparently Bernie Vince said that on Triple M or something like that. So yeah, that's been sent to me a few times. So I'm glad people are getting some clout off me stories. I might want to run a sporty night or something, get some cashies going. But they've stolen all my stuff.
An idea for next year grand final luncheon.
I don't come cheap, Benny. I don't come cheap. Only kidding, mate.
But there wasn't a follower that Matt Crouch tried to help you.
No, it was Brad, not Matt.
Oh, Brad,
Matt's the more sensible one. Brad's the more wild one. So, yeah.
He didn't end up as well?
No, he didn't. I think I tried to grab him.
Yeah.
And he was trying to grab his phone to film it, but I think he saw how much trouble I was in, and the toilet paper that was probably covering my eyeballs and stuff. Yeah. So he helped pull me. Yeah. It was it's a funny story.
Needless to say, you left the hotel pretty quickly. Or
yeah, we did. I got home.
Fire hose or something.
Yeah. I went home and I think I had a 45-minute shower. And it was I think those clothes got thrown out. So
send Bruno Chapman the bill for you.
Oh, he probably should have sent me a bill for being an absolute moron and doing that, I reckon. But
would you like to coach?
I would like to coach.
You can join us next year for
it's under-8 assistant.
Me and the guy. Would you like to coach? Yeah.
I'd like to coach like a thick-skinned team because I'm not very good at being like diplomatic and loving and friendly. I got brought up in an era of just being brutal and just being told the truth, which I found a lot of people don't like these days. A little bit. And the good thing about the Hahndorf side is that that's how we play. We are really brutal and ruthless on each other, and we're ruthless on other teams as well. So, look, I might need to push Goldie out of a job, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Circumstances where you can be honest.
I don't think so. No, I get too annoyed too easily. And when I can't do anything about it, that would just make me drive me nuts.
You have had a taste of it, though, haven't you? You were assistant coach of the Hills Interleague side with Miles.
I was just there for the ride. I think Stroudy and Smiles. Stroudy was awesome. He loves it. He sees the game really well, actually. But I think him and Smiles were definitely the ones running it. and I was just there.
I
I was moving a couple of magnets, I reckon.
That's one of my questions here, Matt. Because you've obviously spent a bit of time with injuries this year, things been trained. Are you a good watcher of football?
No.
Do you analyse a game?
So I watched a couple of games in a few different ways. I watched it in the coach's box, and I watched it with my dad and Trent, and I also watched it with a couple of beers in my hand as well. And I was no good at either. I think just because everything that people do that I wouldn't do annoys me no end, and I can't drop it. It's just...
What annoys you?
Not running defensively irritates me. Not defending. I don't mind if people with skill miss, like with their skills or foot skills or whatever, but it irritates me when people choose not to do things like defend and run back. So I'd be no good at that. Like I'd probably have one player left playing for me if I was coach. So yeah, I'm not a good watcher. No.
What's the best advice you've taken on board from a coach over your career? Is there one that stands out, a particular coach who's been influential, or some philosophy they gave you?
To be honest, I can only think of one bit of advice, and it was Rick McGowan, and he said, if you say you can or you can't, you're probably right. So in terms of if you don't think you can make a certain team or run a certain time or lift a certain weight, if you say you can't, you're probably right. But if you say you can, and you keep being positive, you will be right. So, but I'm sure I've gathered heaps of information. I actually have a book where I kept down notes from Phil when he was coaching. So we all had to keep a book for team meetings, and I've got a book at home with just some stuff he would say on other teams, other players. So yeah, I get that out every now and again to have a laugh and have a reminisce. Yeah.
Did the unfortunate loss of Phil Walsh you're talking about obviously just set back the Crows a number of seasons, really?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably I can't really comment on it because I don't really watch it enough.
Yeah. But at the time,
or care enough to sort of like
I know you were close to him, but in the whole playing group, it
Yeah.
just seemed so unsettling for that to happen.
Oh, it's
Something
hectic.
you couldn't even think would happen.
Oh, it's unbelievably hectic. But yeah, I mean, you sort of got to get over it, I guess. It's sporting world moves pretty fast. You can't blame anything. You gotta train hard, and I know they do. I think they probably did blow in 2017 because they were the best side in the comp in 2017, and obviously got smashed in that game. But I wouldn't say that's the reason, no. But I probably can't comment on whether that's yeah.
I know you've mentioned in the past, and you can probably sympathise with some of the guys these days, young blokes who just. And I remember at the time you said, Matt, the goldfish bowl world of AFL football. It might be glamorous and everything, but there's that much pressure on you, and just
Yeah.
It must be great for you. You've come back to your home club. You've played Six Flags or something.
And you just be yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be you.
Yeah, it is. I enjoyed playing footy. I don't enjoy all the other stuff that came with it. I like talking. I wouldn't be able to talk like this if I was, still playing footy or whatever. I like just taking the mickey a little bit and having a bit of fun. But I did train hard, and that's something that I used to hang my hat on, was that I would muck around and take the mickey out of most things and most people, but I did train hard. I did miss a few important things in my life. Like I missed my sister's birthdays, like 21st and things like that. And at the time, it didn't bother me. But when I think back, that does bother me a bit because these are important people in my life, I guess. So, but I mean, woe is me. Feel sorry for me. I got paid a lot of money and got to live a childhood dream. So I don't feel sorry for myself, and nor I should. But yeah, yeah, it is what it is.
Must be interesting. Also, draft night, you see the excitement on these kids who get drafted. A guy like you can sit there and think, well, what you just said, it's not all beer and Skittles. It's hard, especially you were lucky you were drafted to something in Adelaide.
Yeah, I was rookie.
Where
Yeah,
some of these guys are going to tear up from home and go and live in Queensland or in future Tasmania or Perth. It's got to be tough.
100%. And every family dynamic is different. I'm close with my family, so I would have struggled to move away. I probably struggled a little bit just moving down the hill away from my parents and my sister. I live in Mylor now, but I did live in Millswood while I played down in town. But it's 25 minutes away, and you think to yourself, get over it, man. Like stop being weak. But I was used to love seeing my parents and speaking to my dad for a beer or a coffee. 2 or 3 times a week, which got changed to probably a fortnight.
Rose cooked you a nice breakfast on game day or whatever?
Nah, Mum would tell me to get stuffed, I reckon. I have to make my own breakfast, but
So what is your pre-game, what did you used to have, or routine? Or?
I'm
The penguin?
No, I don't squeak a penguin. No, I actually have been pretty regimented in other years, where I slow cook a ragu with some ravioli, but my partner told me that I need to stop doing that because it didn't work. She's like, well, you blew it last year and you choked, so you need to stop doing it. So Samantha actually told me that I need to it was like, just get over myself. You're old and washed up. Just do whatever just do whatever. So I actually did the food shopping with her at 7:00 at Burnside Coles. Saturday morning, which is so not what I would do, but it was good because
Is she a football fan?
she does like her footy. She wasn't a fan of the game on Saturday, but not many people were. But yeah, no, she does like her footy.
All right. Hypothetically, your coach of a side, how do you want them to play? What would be a way that you'd like your side to play?
How would I play? I guess I would. I'm a ball user, I guess. So I would want all the people that can kick to kick it at all times. So if someone takes a mark, who's not a very good kick, they should handball the ball to a kicker, I believe. I'm huge on switching the ball. Moving it fast, I guess, that's pretty obvious. But I think on the weekend we're playing against Nan, who I guess want you to move it fast and then turn the ball over and to then move it fast on you. So we probably had to move the ball slower and methodically. Just to sort of, I guess, slow down the way they want to play. But then again, you're playing through another team. I guess I'm trying to think off the top of my head, maybe like an Onkers who are probably a little bit slower than us. We wanted to move the ball fast against them. Didn't work in the second and last game or the last game. We won by a goal or whatever. But I think you've got to have 2 or 3 game styles in your top pocket to win these days. Because obviously Hills football is wet too. You can't always move the ball fast, so sort of got to be a triple threat.
Hey, just take us back. Silky skills we joke with, but your disposal talent is fantastic. We were at a luncheon today at an AFL dual premiership coach for the Adelaide Football Club, so that'll probably tell you who it was. He said that people aren't born with talent, it's how they work on what they've got. So you back in the day, obviously as a young tacker growing up, I can imagine Beach would have had their left foot, right foot, just because your kicking was a superb part of your game when you had Adelaide Crows, you would have designated kicker in and this sort of stuff. So that's something you always worked on?
Yeah, so I can remember Dad would always kick with me. He would never say no, but he had this rule where from his 2 shoulders down to his 2 hips, that was like the box. And if I missed that 3 times in a row, he would throw the ball down and say you're not taking it seriously. He'd go inside. So if I did the first 3 kicks of when he got home from work weren't there, he would throw it down and would say, I'm not kicking with you, you're not doing it properly. And I'd cry and I'd carry on, but and then I got a can of spray paint and actually spray painted the shed. which he was like, oh, for God's sake, why would you do that? But it's just 'cause I want to keep kicking with him. But he was good because if I just kept hitting him like inside his in the box, he would kick with me for 2, 3, 4 hours. So it's pretty harsh on me, but I think it's the best way to get better is to be brutal.
You used to be down at ground level during the A's training, didn't you? Down at training?
Yeah, they were all really good for me. They always kicked with me, always helped me. I loved it. So all I grew up, that's all I wanted to be was a Hahndorf player. Because, watched Dad win flags and played with some champions, Randall Pearce, Lester Francis, Simon Blake, all those sort of guys. So they were always my idols growing up, yeah.
That's a good question I was going to ask. It's a good segue. I was going to ask you, who was your hero growing up besides BJ? But obviously those Hahndorf guys you mentioned, it's a bit hard to split any of them. Matty Cooper?
Yeah, Coops was awesome.
It was an incredible team, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. They say that I'm not sure, 97 or 95, that was a pretty good team, but I reckon the 2019 side beats them by about 25
Points or
goals. Yeah, I don't think it holds a candle that side. They were a good side, but yeah,
So it's 84, 85 stack up. They were good full forward, didn't they? How would that be? Imagine that be, what do you call it?
make a video game sort of.
The video game, the Jaensch family game, head to head. How would you handle BJ?
I'd love to play on Dad because I know he wouldn't run defensively. So I'd be able to stop him, and I reckon I'd get 60 on him because I know he wouldn't play defence because I know they'd be defending the ground with 17 with him. So, I mean, they had some good sides and probably one of the best coaches, Richard Hill. Yeah, I actually said to Richard Hill Saturday night, I said to him, I've won 6 flags. And he turned around and said, well, I've won 8 footy flags and I think 13 basketball flags and 8 cricket flags. And so that shut me up pretty quick, but he's done it all. And he said he won a couple of pennants in golf as well. And so I felt about this big after that. I was pretty cock a hoop with myself at the time, but he crushed me pretty quickly. Yeah, no, it was good.
Fantastic.
Timmy Glover just messaged, wanted to know who was best to field on Saturday evening. Before you,
Yeah, shivers.
Who's going all right?
Look, it'd have to be one of the young boys, like Danny Zander is always the best. Riley Clamp was good. The Parker Bores, probably actually Otto Parker Bores, I reckon, that the old man.
Really?
So he was good. He was good. No, it was all the boys were pretty good, to be honest. I left relatively early because I'm not as young as I used to be. So
one of the great things at Hahndorf, they're a successful club on the field and off the field, just the way they organise things like their Legends Days they have and life members toss. I know a few other clubs have now started to do it, but everyone gets around the black and the white, don't they?
Yeah, it's good. I think they do it really well. I do think at some home games at times they are a little bit quiet. They don't cheer as loud as what the other teams do, but I guess we do, luckily enough, win a lot, so they probably a little bit like, oh, well, sort of thing. But the club's awesome. Like Kays and all the other board members, Squiz, they do an awesome job. Louise Trapp. I think that's what helps us to be the best, is to have, the best sort of board or whatever it's called, committee. So they're great.
It's interesting because you've got 6-time premiership player, champion under-8s assistant coach. Hahndorf Footy Club, it's only 50 years next year, just about. They were in a bit of trouble at some stage. They actually were going to fold when they were in Division 3. They were down the sort of bottom, and now look at them, they were a powerhouse. It's amazing how the wheel can turn, and you're probably blessed because you love Hahndorf to be in probably the club's most successful era in its history, with the 10 flags, 10 grand finals, 7 flags.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, right place, right time. Luckily that Dad, I guess, played there and just sort of following his footsteps, I guess. I think it's a lot of hard work from the junior committee back in the day. Rob Wild, Chucky Asmus, all those sort of people who nurtured all the talent. Ned Kleeman, Anthony Hill, all these people who coached buddy 10 flags and run under 14s or 16s. So I'm just a beneficiary of that hard work.
Hey, just quickly, you had the opportunity to go away and see another community football club when you went to Warwick, the Bill Eagles. How was that experience? How did you find it?
Bridgewater.
Yeah, Bridgewater was good.
Of course, sorry.
Yeah, under Smiles. Yes. No, it's one and done. There. No, it was
Actually played Hahndorf, didn't you?
yes, and we lost. We nearly won too. Fuck. Oh shit! That would have been awesome if we won, but oh well. No, I did enjoy it there at Warwick Nabil. It's country, where everyone goes to the club every Saturday night. We weren't much chop, but
Very good work in defence there, Matthew, just watching the ball go over your head.
Yeah.
You're not used to.
yeah. Well, I had a fair bit of sunburn on the roof of my mouth just from that, but I did enjoy it. They're good blokes, and just real country, honest, good people. So, I actually really enjoyed it. And if I had my time again, I'd just do the same thing.
And Bridgewater? How was that?
I was about 25 kgs overweight, and
It was a good side though, wasn't it?
It wasn't.
Was it full tilt?
I just wish I was 20 kilos lighter to have beaten Dorf, but they got the chockies there, so good on
I
them.
remember watching that. That was under lights.
It was. I had a broken hand that game too, actually. So yeah.
That's it all. That's it all.
We got another minute, so yeah. Anything else, Matt?
No.
Sorry?
Nah, I want to thank you guys for doing an awesome job with all the media stuff, and I know probably speaking for all the HFL players to promote it and to broadcast the games. I know all the family would love it too, who can't be there because not every parents can get to the game to watch. So yeah, you guys are awesome. So we really appreciate it.
Obviously put the boys to sleep on Monday.
Yeah.
No, you guys didn't put the boys to sleep. I just think Hahndorf and the game style that was played probably put you guys to sleep. But no, you guys do an awesome job. And
Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it. It's just funny to think, then we did it a few times during the call, that two free-flowing, scoring teams,
yeah.
Hahndorf and Ned, can only raise, 2 goals between them
Well,
at half time.
the highest score since when in a grand final?
Since 2001,
Okay,
Kangaroo
all
Island.
Wow.
Western District kicked a total of 28. I think they kicked 3 goal 10. And they've broken that record now, 3-14, so 32 points. So
yeah, right.
there you go, Hahndorf.
Once a record breakers, you beauty. It's a great record to have too. So
That is indeed.
yep. Cheers,
All right,
boys.
Matthew.
Thank you, mate.
As always, it's a pleasure having you, mate, and all the best. And hopefully we can see you out there again next season, because it's the quarter while we don't do the 12:30 game, all right?
Yeah,
The
Sunday.
Super Seas with some of the others.
I can promise you I won't be in those 2 games. I'm just ensure you won't be in the other game either. So, cheers, boys.
All right, our special guest in the footy hour has been Matthew Jaensch, 6-time premiership player. So that does us better, because we'll be back next week for our final huddle of the season.
2024,
So we're looking forward to that. So until then, we'll see you again here on Lofty 88.9 FM. Keep chasing your goals. Bye for now. Oh, thanks, mate. That flew. Excellent. Appreciate it. I'm going to put that up as a podcast. Yeah, go for it.